All right, people, it has been quite some time. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, even though we're a little bit past all that, but nonetheless, I hope you had a good one. As you can tell from the video title, yes, I have acquired what is one of the more rare titles in the game, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and that is the Have a Little Power Pole title, which should show here, yep, right here. Perform a physical super attack 77,777 times. Now, acquiring that was kind of toxic, but what I did is kind of a scam. Not really though, because I mean, I had to do a lot of runs to try and earn that, but I should probably change this wallpaper actually. But it was actually kind of cool to try and do in a way because it allowed me to use units I haven't really used too often. And what wallpaper do we want to use to celebrate this occasion? We'll run this one since he's got the power pole. We'll just run it for the time being. Yeah, that seems to be fine. But so, for that mission, or no, not mission, for the title, what I chose to do for the title was, burst mode isn't active right now, but where is the team that I made for it? Should be here. Yeah, it's here. So these are the two teams that I made to do this, set out to do this title with. So during burst mode, obviously, you can change the settings to be whatever you need it to be for, to get the highest score possible. What I did for this was I just brought one of these two teams because each of these teams has full weapon supers, as you can tell by the little sword logo right there on the super attack. So we go over here, we go to Dragon Ball Heroes, because these are all Dragon Ball Heroes characters, and then we do physical. All 6 of these characters on this team use a weapon super attack, physical super attack as the game calls them, but weapon super as the community calls them, right? And for this other team over here, this Daima team, well, not exactly a Daima team, but it is just other characters with weapon super attacks. There are a lot of characters on here, but I wanted to choose characters that are able to survive, but at the same time not do too much damage, because this is a Dragon Ball Seekers team, because that's why this Bulma's the lead. But this team is more dangerous to run because her leader skill doesn't give as much stat buffs as Deborah's does. Because if we find Deborah here, there he is. He gives 150% to Dragon Ball Heroes, and because Dragon Ball Heroes leads are more common to see somehow than Dragon Ball Seekers leads, at least for a weapon super title. Because if we go over here and look at the Dragon Ball Seekers leads, and it's down here. No. I know it's here somewhere. I'm blind. There it is. So Dragon Ball Seekers, if we look at this right here, I'm going to uncolor it for now. Because, he's got a weapon super, but he does way too much damage. She's got a weapon super, but, she gives way too many stats. And only one of her supers is a weapon super. I wanted to just be straight weapon supers and nothing else. So if the game ever got her 18 key, then it wouldn't work. Because if we just type in physical right here. So the team I chose to run was, I could have run this Bulma, but I chose not to. Ginyu does have a weapon super, but it's only for one of his multiple super attacks, and it's just for the Goldo portion of his 12 key, which is extremely inconsistent and unreliable, so I chose to not go for him. Otherwise, I would have considered it. Goku and Arale, theirs is cool, but their 18 key is another melee super, which is pretty easy to get because they get extra key per rainbow key sphere, so that would backfire pretty fast. Bulma she's a TUR, so hers is just gonna be, every additional she gets, she's gonna get a consistent weapon super. She doesn't have a unit super attack. No, she doesn't. I was thinking of a different character. This one also had a weapon super, but I did not know how they would perform in the stages, and I also didn't want to get them too high up, otherwise they would probably have been doing too much damage. But now that I think about it, I probably could have been running them at just SA level 1. Because do they have any additionals in their kit? Yeah. Not very much additional chance though. That's probably why I didn't run them too often. But so, as we see from this, the team I chose to run was Glorio, both Daima Gokus, well, the 2 Daima Gokus with weapon supers, this one and this one. Pansy, because she also is a weapon super, and then Mai, because she also gets additionals from Peppy Gals. and DB Saga. And I'm pretty sure Pansy's on Peppy Gals, right? I think. I lied. No, she's not. I am tweaking. But despite that, though, she did get a... Oh, it's just another, right? So whenever her and Bulma were on the same turn, she got these 2 additionals, and I actually got the weapon super, or I actually got the additional super a lot from it, surprisingly enough. And Glorio, the way that the Glorio and Pansy work actually helped out a lot for this, because Pansy and Glorio do additional supers when there's another Daima or when there's another Daima, like, so if it were Daima Vegeta or Daima Goku, then they would get an additional super, or if there's another Glorio or Pansy in the turn, as we see from their passives right here. Yeah, because Pansy right there, then Daima right there. So, but the one issue with that is that sometimes they would clear the stage too fast, because the last stage that it was during, because I did get this back in, hold on, let me check real quick. Because I did get this a while ago, actually. I'm trying to find it, because I did take a picture of it somewhere around here. But I actually got this title back in, I think it was November. I'm fairly certain. Yep. As we can see right here, it was actually on December 6th, so it's very early in December. In the morning, too, funnily enough. Oh, I didn't know photos could do that. It's tracing the art of the Goku Black. That's kind of cool, actually. Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, I got this early December. I don't know why I said early November, probably because time frame is just a super small window. But I did get this a while ago, actually a month as of the day I'm recording this, funnily enough. Because most of the runs I did were with this team, because even though this team was, as a whole, like, weaker because of stats, this team, because it's Dragon Ball Heroes characters and like they're more closer to banner units and stuff, and even though this team is basically full free to play, they actually do more damage faster than the Heroes team did. So what I did was I went into the burst mode stage and I tested, my peak, I apologize, but I tested how long. Well, I didn't test how long, but I let the run complete using the auto system. Actually, let me just show an example of what I did. There's no burst modes active, but if we go to, is the Dokkan event for it? Yes, it is. You guys. I think I did it against Omega, actually. Yeah, but like you can see right here, I did use this team for it. But it was the Omega Dokkan event, I'm pretty sure, that actually got the most value for me. So we'll go to that instead. Where is Omega Shenron? You're here somewhere. There you are. So, this one. Yep. Okay, he is here. So, yeah. So Omega was actually the one that took longer to beat for both, or for all 3, because I used both weapon super teams on the Goku and Vegeta one when that came back during the Black Friday celebration era period, which is why I got it on the day that I did, because that was when the Black Friday stuff was around and they brought back the worldwide download celebration units. Well, no, Global Dokkan campaign, not worldwide download. Wow, it's not the worldwide download celebration anymore, but the Global Dokkan campaign units. So when they brought back the burst mode for the Blues and Omega, I went into Omega stage. His ended up taking the longest with this team specifically. So, and obviously the highest damage dealing character on the Heroes team would be the friend unit, because no friend unit's really gonna run what this is. Because like we go to Dragon Ball Heroes, no weapon super, so I just run the default friend unit. And then we go into this stage, and so it's going to auto. And like once this starts, I literally just put my phone down and come back later whenever the stage finishes. Because usually, obviously it's going to be much faster now, but usually it would take like 2, sometimes 3. If it was a really good burst mode stage, it would take like 3.5 hours to complete, which is super great. Like it cuts into a lot of link level time, but I feel like that's worth it for the title. But obviously, it would be a lot harder to complete than this, because all of the modifiers you put on, and what modifiers I put on, I'm not sure if I said it right at the start of the video or not, but I put on all of the defensive modifiers, meaning all the damage reduction, all the health increase, all of the defense modifiers, all of the ones where it's like using this one specific type, they get 50% damage reduction against. And I'm pretty sure because of the return of the burst mode, it actually was a lot greater as well. Actually, we could try and find the burst mode for it on one of the websites here, but while I let this run through, burst mode, yes. Where is it? Because they reran it. I'm not sure it's going to show up here. It does not seem to be showing up, no. No, it's not showing up. No. They're not showing the revamped burst mode one. That kind of sucks. I really wanted to do that for this. But like, as you can see, it's just the weapon supers like 9 times out of 10. The Vegeta will get an attack in occasionally, but not nearly often enough for him to be able to like actually do enough damage to end everything that is, you know? But I'm gonna tab us over here real quick in just a second. How am I gonna do this? Window capture, yes, perfect. I'm going to do this now, shablamo. All right. Yep, here it's, I'm actually gonna close that real quick, then go into this, boom. Oh, right, because Dokkan's above it. So I would do this instead. Perfect, okay. So we're gonna switch over to here real quick, just so I show you an example. But you get the gist of what I'm doing to have gotten the weapon super title. But so as we see with Omega's burst mode right here, this isn't the one I used to finish off the title. But so obviously we didn't do any of the category ones because that restricts us. Didn't do any of these. Didn't do the team costs. But I did raise attack and defense by 200%. Did nullify super attack seal and stun. I didn't do nullify attack reduction because a lot of the heroes team is able to reduce his attack, and because they're not especially great defensively, especially like late into the fight, I don't want to get in like the 3 hours in and then just immediately die, because I'm not sure if that actually resets the progress made during the stage or not, but I didn't want to test it. So what I did was just keep this on. And well, I didn't activate this, so we just constantly kept stacking attack reduction on him. Obviously turned this off so we don't end up doing more damage to him faster. Turn all of these on because we want to go through as slow as possible just so we can get as many weapon supers as we can. Turn this up to max. This, I don't think I turned on ever, because usually by the time we got to phase 4, he was doing enough damage to just kill, and that was not really useful. That's how it was for most burst modes actually, so I never used it for that. Enemy's defense, put that to max, put the HP raise to max, all the way up to here, 5,000 as well. And then also reduce damage lower than 100,000 to 0, so any weapon supers that didn't pass the threshold were doing 0 damage, but they still counted as weapon supers, so that was what we were trying to go for. That's what was important to us. So we tab back over here. Obviously stage is complete, did it with this. It's not going to show my longest time because that would be a bit ridiculous, and I kind of wish they did. But yeah, that's basically just the gist of how I acquired the weapon super title. Just ran these 2 teams. Obviously requires a tad bit of luck, especially since for newer players, they won't be able to acquire the heroes units, so they're going to have to deal with something more realistic like this Dragon Ball Seekers team down here. But that's all I really did. I just went into burst mode stages with the highest defensive settings after I did the real missions, of course, because, you know, Dragon Stones is important for everyone in the class. But that's all I did. Just ran into burst mode stages constantly, let them rock for however long, put my phone down, sometimes go out into other apps because I forget that I'm doing the burst mode, and then come back into it and just complete the stage, and we rock with these. But yeah, this was the team that got me there. Best part about Sealess is that after he transforms, he's still a weapon super. Otherwise, I would not have run him. But Sealess low-key kind of carries because I think he gets an additional in his Fuse form, yeah? Yes, he does, yeah. And has a 50% chance to be a super. But that's really all it was. and peep the power level, by the way. We're almost at a whopping 10 mil. Kind of fire. Kind of want to hit 10 mil before anniversary starts, but I'm not sure how realistic that is. Wow. 8,775,000 exact link skills at max level. That's kind of crazy. Do I really have that many units? Jesus Christ. Huh. You know, nonetheless, anyway, forgive me. I got a bit distracted by that. Hope you all enjoyed. If you want to try and get the weapon super title, that's how I recommend doing it. Just go into burst mode using either of those two teams. And obviously be careful not to buff the boss too much because then you'll die. But, oh, actually, before, I did just remember, another way that I did get the weapon super title was link leveling on occasion. So, in events like, because it's active right now, in events like this, right here, Superheroes of Tomorrow. So, obviously, this is just for the, what's it called? This is just for the water bottles. But even in events like this, like back during just the passive time, I would just find characters I don't have fully link leveled on the, where is it? Here it is. I would just find characters I didn't have fully link leveled that did weapon supers, which is why you see me keeping all, like having locked all of these different R and SR cards down here because they all have weapon supers. So, like this Bulma that I'm probably gonna link level at some point but never use, this Paragus, this Goku, Yajirobe again, Minosha, all that stuff. So, like, if I hadn't already gotten, I probably would have leveled up some of these characters and brought them into this stage to link level them while getting the weapon super stuff, because they wouldn't be doing much damage, but, you know, for each person that we don't kill, we get more weapon supers out, so. But again, that is all that I did to get the weapon supers. If you want to try and do it, I suggest you do the same thing. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.